Hello dear students, welcome. So in today's class we are going to learn one essay that comes under unit 3rd, mass media and technology. The third lesson of this unit is we have got mail always. This is an essay by Andrew Leonard. This essay talks about pros and cons of email, electronic mail. What are the good aspect, what are the advantages, and what are the merits and demerits of using email in our day-to-day life. Especially this essay focuses on the good aspect and bad aspect of email, using email and other forms of communication. So being based on this lesson, we will talk a lot in today's class. So dear students, let's move on to this essay. We have got mail always by Andrew Leonard. Andrew Leonard, a freelance writer in the United States, especially in this essay, Leonard he has discussed one issue: is email a blessing or a curse? Uh, Email has good aspect. On the other hand, email has very bad aspect too. So generally, those people who believe in email, who think email is blessing, they said that email is a boon of science. Email is a miracle of science. It is always a good means of communication that helps to send message, information, ideas from one person to another person in a very instantly, in a very quicker way. But on the other side, it has some demerits too. There is a saying, uh, although there is a although the sun, the moon also has a dark side, dark shadow. Like the same way, email also has some negative aspect when people misuse it for different purpose. So there may be some drawbacks of this using email in communication as a means of communication. So in this essay, this especially in the essay, the writer has talks about the issue: is email a blessing or a curse? He has discussed about this through this essay by Andy Leonard. So in this essay, the writer explores the positive and negative effect of email and other relative new forms of online communication, especially the ways in which people interact with each other. He has presented this idea here. The writer discusses about the pros and cons of using email and other forms of communication. Here, the writer has described about the good aspect and the bad aspect, let's say advantage and disadvantage of using email and other forms of communication. He has discussed in this essay by Leonard. This essay is helpful in encouraging students to think about the ways in which the internet might affect their lives negatively in both a personal and social manner. He has presented his ideas here. Leonard mentions several contradictions in the essay. Email saves and wastes time. Email simplifies and complicates life, and it is convenient and inconvenient. Uh, this brings people together and pushes them apart. So he has discussed both aspect here, good aspect and bad aspect. So that's why there is a one issue: is email a blessing or a curse? That is the matter to be concerned here, students. There is a special email contributes to the fast pace of life and allows people to cope with different ideas. Email represents a vast historical archive, but one that is unstable. Email demolishes all boundaries, which may be either a blessing or a curse. So the writer, throughout this essay, the writer has discussed about the pros and cons of using email and other forms of communication. Here is the writer has given the answer: is email a curse or blessing here? Especially the one who has used it very wisely, for them it is blessing, and for those who have misused it, who have used this idea very wrongly, is email wrongly, then that can be a curse there. So that is the idea the writer has put forward in this essay. That is, we have got mail always. The writer, especially the writer, has discussed about the good aspect and bad aspect of using email uh, as a means of communication. So now let's move on further. Let's discuss its main theme of this essay. We have got mail always is an interesting essay. It was written by Andrew Leonard. Especially Andy Leonard, a famous freelance writer in the United States. This essay explores the positive and negative effect of email and other relatively new forms of online communication, especially the ways in which people interact with each other. The writer discusses about the pros and cons of using email and other forms of communication. According to the essay, as a communication tool, email has facilitated the global exchange of vast amounts of information. It has improved the manner and speed with which we communicate, and individuals from all walks of life are using email for different purposes. Perhaps one of the most positive contribution email has made to humanity is its enabling a large scale human collaboration on important projects and issues like never seen before. So that is the good aspect for using email. So on the other side, the biggest impact of collaboration can be felt within the software industry, where progress is quickened by the thousands of programs simultaneously sharing information. Uh, Research suggests that email is number one activity that people engage in online. So most of the people they engage in online, they send messages through email, electronic mail. So that's the email has very importance, has many good aspect. As a trivial as it may sound, the creation of it was not planned. In fact, email was created without the intention of producing the breakthrough communication tool that it has turned out to be. Its architect, Eric Aleman, chief technical officer of SendMail, that is developed the original email program back in 1970s in effort to make communication among his peers at the UC Berkeley more conveniently. He developed this concept. Indeed, email is convenient and easy. It possesses the capability of bringing people into a dialogue regardless of distance and despite physical limitations. It keeps us close to those we love even though they may be thousands of miles away. That is the idea. Especially email keeps everybody connected to the work when people cannot be physically present. It helps them overcome their anxieties and flattens hierarchies within the bounds of an office. That is Online dating has also been facilitated by the email as it provides a safe, neutral environment for conversation and a barrier to physical rejection. In an office setting, email can encourage the exchange of ideas and thoughts without the pressure associated with public speaking. Although email serves as a buffer zone, its casual nature, coupled with diminishing face-to-face interaction, has fostered an internet culture that doesn't hold anything back. There are no filters, no censorship. Decon and time zones seem to be lost. In addition, although more and more individuals are engaging in the written word of email, so that's the email has uh, great significance and great importance in our day-to-day life. So now email has become a part of our life. We send messages, information, ideas, and essential documents through email. So that's email has great advantages in our means of communication. So here, especially in addition, although more and more individuals are engaging in written words of email, it is ironic that the level of literacy and level of tact has diminished. For example, full phrases have turned into quick acronyms, and the click of buttons simultaneously allows us to acronyms, and the click of button allows us to forward the latest gossip to all of our email contacts. Email allows to act before the perfect tool for a culture or hyper stimulation. So that's why email has a great significance. It has very good aspect uh, in our day-to-day communication. We must keep in mind that email is a fragile medium that is subject to misinterpretation. Sometimes fuzzy corruption and destruction. Old emails will come back to haunt you. Love it 1 minute and hate it the next. We have to come to the place a significant importance on the role that email plays in our daily basis. Some of us go as far as valuing. So that is the demerits of using email. Valuing ourselves according to the number of messages received in our email inbox, completely disregarding the fact that for the most part only a small fraction of those email messages contain any useful uh, content. Email is iconic of the places of life we are experiencing in this era. As we witness our attention spans diminishing under the influence of the uh, plethora of technological stimuli, it is apparent that email is yet another distraction to our already overly stimulated existence. It is quite normal to log in and check our email even though we are vaccinating in some remote area of the world, it seems like email is constantly begging for our attention and has taken control of our lives. To some degree, we have let it simply because it is inescapable. It knows no boundary. So that's why email has great advantages, and email has great assist in human lives. As we can see, Leonard has put forward his idea there. So similarly, on the other side, there are some pros and cons of using email. Let's move on there. And pros, that is good aspect. Sending email to someone is very easy. People need little training to learn how to do this, and emails are free to send so long as you have an email account and connection to the internet. So multiple choices of message can be sent through a group of people, or carbon copy of email can be sent to other people as well. So message can be prepared in advance and saved until you are ready to send them. So that's why email has various advantages, many advantages it has. On the other side, there are some disadvantages of using email too. Let's discuss about this. Especially both of you and the persons receiving email must have an email address and access to the computer or device that can access the internet. That is the things. If you don't the if you don't know the email address of the other person, you can't send them a message. That is also the problem. Spam is a big problem. Up to the two-thirds of the mails sent are spam. Their email attachment can contain viruses there. So messages can be encrypted, making it possible to send confidential information. Another problem is that, and some companies won't allow email attachment to be received. So when you are on a holiday, your email box can come full and extra message might not get stored. So that is the disadvantage of using email. So especially in this essay, Leonard has put forward his concept that email has some pros and cons while using email and other forms of communication. Though they are the good means of communication, but it has some demerits too. So he has described his idea in this essay. That is, we have got emails always. So still we are at the end of the lesson. Uh, I hope you got the concept. If you have any confusion regarding this, you can ask, you can comment there. And there are two questions here. Let's discuss about this. What are the advantages, pros, and cons, disadvantages of using email? We have just discussed about this. It is in the summary. You can go there. Describe how your life will be different without internet. If no internet, what sort of life will be there? If no internet, then our life will be in full of trouble. We cannot send the message very instantly. Uh, we cannot send special official document very fast because it takes time through post office and some other in some ordinary way. So that's why email, we cannot even nowadays, we can, in this digital era, we cannot imagine internet without a life. So now internet has become our part of our daily life. So you can write in your own way as well through this question. Please try your best these two questions. I will get that answered in the next class. So now it's the time to say goodbye to all. Hope to meet you in our next class. Don't forget to like and subscribe this versatile learning network. See you in our next video, next class. Goodbye. Take care.